All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, and we're back with more Halloween 2021 reviews. And today we're talking about 1999's Bats. So if you're liking what we're doing here on the channel, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. So any new people joining us that find this through this video, welcome to the conversation. I'm sorry that this is the video that you found us on. If you're a returning subscriber and you know this movie, or you just watched this so you could watch the review of this, I'm sorry again. But welcome back. How you doing? So yeah, this is our fourth Halloween episode of 2021, and you know, they can't all be gems. You know, sometimes I put off movies because I just never got around to them. Sometimes, like with my Rob's Never Seens, which this is also technically a Rob's Never Seen, like with the older movies, I never watched because I just kind of had to think against certain, old Hollywood and things like that. And sometimes there's a movie that you put off and because you just never really felt that great about it, but you were always curious, and sometimes you should just leave those movies alone. Sometimes your first instinct is right. And just because I love Mystery Science Theater 3000 does not mean that I need to watch bad movies like they do. In fact, if this was a Mystery Science Theater episode, I would have laughed my ass off. This would have been perfect for a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode. Just absolutely fucking perfect. So Joel, yeah, even though you'll never watch this, but just somebody tell Joel to make this one into a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode, because this is garbage. This is garbage. So this came out on October 22nd, 1999. And 1999 had some amazing films. 1999 was one of my favorite years for films. It gave me my favorite movie of all time. Bats isn't one of them. And honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that we were going to watch this last year for Halloween 2020, this would have fit better in 2020, because it just encapsulated, and since 2020 was such a dumpster fire, 2020 was not much better, but this would have fit in with that kind of feeling I had in 2020. And I feel bad for just about everyone involved, because some of the people here, whatever it was, right? There was some work put in by the actors. I think that this was possibly a vehicle for at least a couple of the actors, because this stars Lou Diamond Phillips. Man, because who doesn't like Lou Diamond Phillips? Who doesn't out there think that Lou Diamond Phillips should be in a shitload more stuff? La Bamba, Young Guns, and then just kind of, I don't know, maybe he was doing his own thing. I know he was on that show Meyer. I don't know if Hollywood just stopped calling him. But this also stars Dina Meyer, who from Starship Troopers and the Saw franchise. This has got Leon, if you know who Leon is. I think he was in Cool Runnings. I'm not as familiar with him. This has got Bob Gunton, from fucking Shawshank Redemption, man. So you get your like, you get your guy, like Bob Gooden always plays a bad guy. He always plays a heavy. He's good at it. So you get another guy in here that's like pretty decent actor. And it's just awful. So yeah, okay. So Bob Gooden plays like a scientist who brought over two bats from Indonesia, experimented on them, and turned them into perfect killing machines. And now these perfect killing machines are infecting other bats and turning them into, monsters themselves. So we made the monsters, and then the monsters are now attacking, and they don't know what to do. And it's a by the numbers cliched mess of a movie. And it doesn't really matter how it ends. It doesn't. None of the scenes. I could talk about all the scenes, like the terrible rubber bats, the terrible camera work, and the terrible editing to try to like hide how bad the bats look. But then you stop and you show us these rubber bats that look awful. It's just a big mess, and when the camera is going all crazy and the editing is going all crazy, it's hard to even watch. It's jarring, and it's kind of it's off-putting. It's not. I'm not saying I got sick to my stomach watching the jumps around that were so fast, but it was just like I just kind of like looked away. I looked away because I just couldn't stare at the screen as everything was just flashing and flashing and flashing and flashing. Just so many fast edits that it was just awful. This is just awful. I mean, it has like the director of this is known for making bad movies. Like and I shouldn't say bad movies. He's known for making low budget B movie schlock. And it appears like was his biggest high profile story. And what I find interesting is more than the movie, right? So Killer Bats. What I find more interesting is just kind of the story behind this, because this is made by Destination Films. And they were a new company, and this was like their first big movie. Now, if this movie had been like one of those movies that knows what it is and just embraced it, I think that this would be one of those fun cult movies that people would look on and go, oh yeah, bats, man, let's get stoned or drunk or whatever and watch bats and laugh our asses off. And it kind of sounds like it was. There's a lot of different versions apparently in the, there was, no, I shouldn't say a lot of different versions, but it appears to be a version of this that was much more self-aware. And that the character that Leon plays, Jimmy, was a much more serious character. And they turned him into a joke. He's the token, jokey black guy who's, just, he stops short of saying, hell no. But he says everything else just about. They don't give him anything to do. Like, they take this movie very seriously, but they make that guy act like a buffoon. Even though in the original script he was supposed to be serious. So they just don't know, they didn't know what to do with any of this, it feels like. Destination was trying to put their mark out there, and they made a movie that in the end was actually successful. Because this was produced in just over 5 months. The picture continues to hold one of the top spots for fastest produced 35mm feature film, from script to screen, to receive a wide release. It's pre-production and script acquired, director hired in May of 99. Production was June and July of 99. And by everything else, it was finished by September of that same year and released on 2,540 screens on October 22nd, 1999. So they just cranked this fucker out, which is a little impressive because there are some sets in here like that are kind of interesting, like especially like with the mindset and just creating the town and things like that. I mean, they really whipped a lot of shit together in that respect. Not saying it was, the best thing ever, but like when you think about the production time and making it, and they definitely didn't work on the script. They spent more time, I think, setting everything up more than anything. But this movie cost 5.25 million, and it recouped all its money in the first week and grossed over $30 million. So it made like, let's see, 10, like it 30 million off of 5 million is a success. But a sequel didn't come out, I think, or start filming until 2006, as it says. And they even had Lou Diamond Phillips and Dina Meyer under contract. All right, they had a 5-year contract with Destination Films in case they wanted to make a sequel. But the contract expired in 2004, and the Bats 2 Human Harvest wouldn't begin production until 2006. Or begin production in 2006, yeah, and then premiered a year later, so 2007. Now, why it took so long to make a sequel to what was a profitable movie? Because I mean, like, look at one of the reasons why they make a lot of how like scary, shitty movies like Saw and shit, right? It's because they always make their money back, and they make one like once a year. There was those times, especially in the aughts and the tens, where you would just get the same movie basically every year. Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, Hostel 2, 3, whatever. Some reason they sat on this. Now I don't know why. Was it because even though they made their money, they saw how like bad the reception was afterwards? Because you can get people into the theater to see your shitty movie. You can take their money, fool them, and then say ha 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 and laugh all the way to the bank. Maybe Destination saw it and was like, look, we want to still be a serious film company. This movie made us this much money. Let's take that money and make other movies rather than this. Let's invest that money into other things. I don't know what Destination did other than that, because I don't remember seeing too many. I don't see too many movies that say Destination Films on it. I don't recall seeing that before a film lately. But that's an interesting story there. And when you want to talk about the production of a movie more than you want to talk about the actual movie, well, that's a problem right there. It's forgettable. The performances aren't even that great. Everybody is, like, I think Dina Meyer's fine in it. I think Lou Diamond Phillips is fine in it. And unfortunately, Leon was given a terrible script. His character was given terrible, terrible dialogue. Bob Gunton was given terrible, terrible dialogue, and they really tried to focus on his mad scientist kind of going slowly mad and everything, but he's wasted here. He's wasted here. And like I said, if this was Mystery Science Theater 3000, I'd say, haha, yes, sign me the fuck up for that. But this is otherwise a hot mess of a movie. And if you watch this far, like I said, I barely talked about the movie. I didn't spoil shit for you. So I'm saving you the rental. I'm saving you the hour and a half if you have it on, like this was on Prime. I'm saving you an hour and a half of your time. If you've been sitting on the fence about this, don't watch it. If you think that it's so bad it's good, because it is so bad, but it's not so bad it's good. There were a couple of times where I laughed and we wrote in the chat because we did this as part of a viewing party. Yeah, there were plenty of jokes to be had. But I'm actually trying to watch the movie at the same time. I'm taking notes and in the chat, and I found myself just doing other things while this was on. I knew what was happening. I could see what was happening. But I was thinking about how to cut this review together while I was making it. Like, while I was watching it. So, that's Bats. I have nothing else to say about it. We're going to be talking about a better movie. Well, we're going to be talking about a movie that, yeah, it's better than this. It's better than this, I can tell you that right now. It might not be quantifiably some, masterpiece, but it's better than this one. So if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and the bell for all notifications. If you hated every single thing I said, well, I can give you a better memory. So, for those of you who did like this review, please put on shades, look away. If you have a sensitivity to light, get the hell out of the room, because we're going to give these people who hated everything I said a better memory. Here's a much better ending and more sentimental and more emotional ending to something involving Lou Diamond Phillips that's better than any part of this movie, and it only takes a couple of seconds. Have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.